I will just ask that you limit if you're filming, not to film other people in here.
The policies are exactly the same. Here, I'm listening to Mark Carney, and I see what's the difference.
Are the people friendly?
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Do we get kicked out? Sometimes not.
So
I think I know how to move out of the way.
Right, we're done.
Slightly different video today, guys. I'm going to hand the channel over to Lynne Brooks because she did something this week that was absolutely, you've got to see it. Get yourself over to Lynne Brooks's channel. I'll put a link to it here or thingy. I'll put some stuff in the description and all the YouTuber stuff, whatever people do, right? But you got to watch this. This is Lynne going into a Liberal office and seeing how friendly the Liberals are. Let's get on with it.
Evan Solomon's office election. We got Evan, we got Mark, we got me.
Evan Solomon's office. Solomon's
so we're
office.
Here. We haven't even tried the door, so we don't know if the door's open. But so Evan Solomon, we could talk about him before we go in or
Let's
after.
talk about him, Lynne.
He did work for the CBC, and he got fired because he did some art dealings that weren't kosher.
Yeah, with Mark Carney, no less.
Yeah, with Mark. And then he went down to the States and worked for Eurasia Group, which is another group that Mark Carney's wife works. I think she still works for them. But anyway, worked anyway. So we're going to go and see if what we can see.
Look at all them signs. Look at all them signs piled up. Shouldn't they be on lawns?
Yes, we figured that.
Does nobody want a sign? Does nobody want a red sign?
With Evan on Thursday.
So we can get a button.
Hello, how can I help you guys today?
Well, we're voters.
Okay.
We're Canadians.
Can I
And I'm
ask,
just why am I to let people know how what's going on in our campaign offices in Toronto and Canada. So just letting people see it. Yeah, that's all. So how are things going?
Good. Yeah. So these are lawn signs. You
I
put
see
them
them.
in the ground.
Not on lawns.
Yeah, okay.
I take it Mr. Solomon is door knocking right now, or out and about?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
I will just ask that you limit if you're filming, not to film other people in here.
yeah, sure. No, she's really
Yeah,
I noticed
they're
yours
embarrassed to
here.
be filmed.
Yeah, I am.
Sure.
I am.
So yeah, this is definitely a Liberal office.
I see that. But I'm still a Canadian. I'm still a voter.
Yeah.
And we want to know what's going on.
What's been the
Thanks for not kicking
in
me
the
You're
in the
Just ask that you not
neighborhood?
film in here, please.
out. I'm filming her.
Okay.
So in the neighborhood, so what has how has your response been?
Well, Evan, the candidate, has been out knocking every day, multiple times a day, and he's getting great response at the door in the community. He's done, he grew up in Toronto and did a lot of work with the community organizations over here, like Pathways Education. So he's been out talking about it.
And what are the main concerns in this riding?
There's a variety of, the Toronto Centre is a unique riding in terms of there's different pockets. In some areas, issues are around affordability. Some areas, issues are around specifically to that community. But it's all varies depending on where you go in the riding.
Okay, so what is he talking about now?
Woo!
This gets really heated,
I think it was
guys. This
taped-
gets
I don't
really
know.
heated when they start getting a bit
Just curious,
fed
like
up with question.
what has changed?
Question.
So
What do you mean, what has changed?
from 10 years ago to now.
Well, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of investments. Sorry, just be careful. You're almost getting him on the camera.
What's that?
It's okay.
What am I doing?
You just had him on the camera, that's why.
When I did this? Well, I already had him on the camera.
Yeah, he's not authorized. He's not authorizing for the videotaping. So I'm happy to give you a pamphlet, and you're welcome to take a pamphlet to go read about what Evan or visit our website. But
Well, what is he talking about that's different than the last 10 years of the Liberal government?
well, Evan's a new candidate.
Yeah, but that
Yeah,
doesn't. How does that translate? Right? Like the policies are exactly the same. Yeah.
They're not, but that's
See, it's me.
Well, I hear
Can you
Mr.
please
Carney
not
talking.
record us, ma'am?
I hear
Hi,
Mr.
can I just
Carney
ask
talking.
I'm looking at myself.
Don't like being filmed, do they?
Look,
Must be if the family found
Okay, so we're
out.
gonna. You've got your shots, so you're welcome to.
this isn't just us getting our shots. We're trying to
You're making people
understand.
uncomfortable by videotaping in here.
I'm,
so
well,
so we
I'm-
can have this conversation outside. I understand.
Get
that's-
outside. Go
You also
outside.
got me in the shop
Go.
for that. and
Okay,
I'm hoping.
well,
So I'm gonna
If
ask
you're
you
willing to
be-
go and talk to Canadians, I don't
have
really
a
understand
You
why
go
you
door
don't
to
have
door.
your
Why
like
can't
your
she-
bit.
why
I don't
can't she
understand.
explain
Like
to
I
Lynne?
accept what you're saying.
That's
I
okay.
just don't really get it.
That's okay.
Why you don't want your face on it?
Well,
It's not your face.
really
It's
about
mine.
you. It's about the policy.
It's about-
That's what we're trying to discuss.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We're
Well
trying to
said.
discuss.
We're not trying to block your way.
You're
We're not being
welcome to
mean.
look
Now,
on the
and they
website.
were
Say
10
it's
years
me.
ago.
You're welcome to
Well,
look on
I'm
the
here. I'm
website.
listening to Mark Carney, and I see what's the difference.
That's a perspective that you have, and that's totally okay. So you're welcome to go on the website. But
Well, I don't need to. See, I've been to
well,
a Carney
you've
event.
got
I know.
you've got your perspective. So with that being said, that you guys are welcome to go on our website, read a pamphlet. But this is a
I
place
know.
for
I
volunteers
know.
to come.
I
so-
don't need to because I
We want to see, basically, there's maybe some questions that the website
Yeah.
could answer.
While
But
they're there.
we've been going into, and again, I'm just looking at myself. We're going into election campaign offices of different parties.
Sure.
And just to see, just
Well
get the
said.
feel.
Yeah.
Are the people friendly?
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Do we get kicked out? Sometimes not. Is the door locked? Are the people in there?
Well,
Just stuff like that. So this is what we're.
Door is open. People
The
have
door.
been coming and going. This is a space for volunteers to come and get their stuff.
She went
to
to
go
one
out.
earlier. The
It's an
door was
election
locked.
campaign office. That's what they do.
Check the
we
video.
get that.
Okay.
But it's more like, okay, so what's going on? Are people, because the country's been divided, seriously divided. And quite honestly,
right.
it got seriously divided by Trudeau. He made some horrible comments about Canadians and divided them. And I see the Liberal Party continue to do that. And I don't like it.
Okay,
So
that's
for
what
me to be able
election
to
is for, and you can vote for whoever.
for
you
me to
want
come into an office and be like, not treated that nice, just to me, this is not Canadian.
Well,
If
It's
I
not
walk
Canadian,
into a
it's
grocery
liberal.
store, or I don't want my face on. Well, you work here. I mean,
No, that's actually not how it
Come
works.
on.
You can't go to a grocery store and record people's faces. Everyone has their
private
privacy
property.
rights.
well,
so-
all of this, it's private property. Like this is getting really
Okay, but
crazy.
that's fine. So you're welcome
So,
to let anyone
that's
film
my
your face.
opinion.
That's your opinion. That's fine. And you're allowed
Right.
to
So
let
that's
people
what I'm
film.
doing. I'm just informing you what I'm doing and
That's
why I'm
fine.
doing it.
And you're welcome to go wherever
And-
you want to film people, but you usually
Well,
gotta ask them
thank
first.
you.
we don't need any.
We don't
permission.
Well, actually,
really
you
need
do.
it.
So.
Well, I
on
don't
that
need
note-
your okay to like.
Well, you do need it to film us. so-
Yes, okay, on this property.
Yes.
Yeah.
And anywhere else.
Well,
You-
not in public.
Yes,
We know
No.
Mr. Solomon.
Yes, if I've asked you not to film me.
No, you don't want to come outside? And I'll
no.
take your picture outside, and I have every right to do
Well,
that.
the thing is, I just want to say one thing. I know that Evan Solomon is tied
There we go.
to Carney, and actually his wife. He worked for Eurasia Group.
Okay.
He left Canada
For
the
2 years,
United
that's right.
States.
Yeah, that's fine.
And now he's back. Wow, he's
And
back.
what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
What's
It's
wrong with
like
someone who goes abroad?
nothing.
So then,
So it's just like, but they do have close ties.
and
I find
So
it
does-
very interesting.
and that's fine.
all.
There's a lot of people who have close ties to Pierre Poilievre and close ties to Jagmeet Singh, but that
Polyev
doesn't
never
matter,
left to live in
right?
America
That you
or
want to
run
make
an
it an issue,
American
that's totally
company,
fine. But
did
there's
he?
nothing wrong with knowing people and having connections.
Yeah, I mean, we know why Mr. Solomon was fired from the CBC for his art dealings with Mark Carney. We know
Okay.
that.
And he's been very public about that. So it's
Yeah, I
something
get
you know.
it.
Has
I
he?
get it.
Okay.
So, but it just, history is history.
That's totally fine. And there's a lot we can say about Pierre Poilievre and things that he's been in trouble for in the House of Commons.
Really?
So
We don't know why he doesn't want to get a security
Oh.
clearance.
Oh my God, the security
He
clearance
must be
crap.
hiding something.
All
We
right.
don't know
if
that.
you want to point out things on
Well,
one
have
side,
you
like,
actually
there's
listened
a-
to what he has said about it, or you're just
So you're blocking
getting...
the way for volunteers to coming in now. So I think
I think I know how to move out of the way. Like,
Well,
okay, let's go.
Yeah, you
All right,
can
we're
leave now.
done.
We're done.
We're hoping that Mr.
Well, I
Solomon
would
is here,
suggest
but
that
he
you
isn't.
listen to Pierre's
Yeah.
answer, his own answer about security clearance.
Educate
Well,
yourselves.
this,
Hiding something.
So
is that
if
what
he's
it
not-
looks
if
like?
he's not- if he's not afraid
When
of-
he says, I don't want to, I'm not going to get this NSICOP security clearance because there is a whatever
gag
you call it,
order.
where you can't
It's a
talk
gag
about
order.
it.
It's not a gag order. When you get security clearance, a top secret security clearance, that's national security. So it's not a gag order. It's you
is.
being privileged enough to get information. And if
I
you're,
think you might
if you
wanna
wanna
Well
criticize
said.
it-
Look at that.
Yeah, I have. I've actually worked in government. So
Oh my God, she's worked in government. And at that point, she gets kicked
You
out.
want to come out?
No,
You're gonna
no,
lock
we're
the door?
Lock the door.
Anyway.
once they go down the route of Pierre Polyev not getting his security clearance, and oh, I don't know why he's not got his security clearance, we're not secure. That's Godwin's law. That means, to me, once you hit that note, that means you've lost the argument. You've totally lost the argument. Once you go into Godwin's law land with the security clearance, that's it. You're done. You're finished. You've got nothing else to talk about. You've got no other points other than to bring up a Godwin's law topic. Anyway, get yourself over to Lynne Brooks. She's live every single day. She's walking around these offices. She's stirring up, well, not stirring up, but she's asking the right questions, I think. Anyway, give her your love, give her a sub. See you on the next one, guys.